And I guess we are live. Hello, everybody. We we have a quite different setting today because I'm in my workshop, so audio might not be the best because it's quite well. You hear how the how it sounds. Just let me know if general video and audio quality is bearable for you guys. I'm really happy that already a couple have gathered around here. Streaming on a Monday is probably not the best, but in Germany tomorrow is a bank holiday, so I thought at least the guys who are living in Germany might have some time and stick around with me today. Yeah, guten Tag everybody. Tony, hi, I ignore my Jan, hi. Terco, hi the Guinness, hi Mike. Video could be better. Actually, I don't know. Let me check, but I think the stream, so the video quality should be fine. I don't know, maybe it's a little bit dark, but let me know if something is happening. As I said, this setting is totally new for me, but I thought for building a CNC router, it's probably better than up in my office, at least until we start really making some chips. Then this is the perfect setting. Hi to Austria. I've already seen that we have some Yanks joining the channel. Hi to Washington. What about the plane behind me? Yeah, so maybe before we start with this, let me show something which I have actually more or less finished. This is the 3D lab print Messerschmitt that I've already been doing 2 videos on. This is ready to fly now, but at the moment I'm still not having the balls to do the maiden flight. It was quite windy today, so I delayed it, and maybe tomorrow we'll have the maiden flight of the 3D printed plane, and this is just gorgeous. It's a really nice plane. It's a piece of art, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting it up into the air. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely a chicken when it comes to flying 3D printed planes. Well, at least I gotta say that I've been using one of my old RC planes for the last couple of days to get a little bit, well, practice in the game. But I think, without further ado, thanks for the hair. Yeah, I know. I really need to go to the hairdresser soon because it's getting quite warm here in Germany, and this means that also my head is getting warmer and warmer. Yeah, no sous vide cooking today again. I'm sorry, but I just we were out for dinner and I'm totally stuffed. I don't want to eat anything at the moment. Yeah, so as I said, or as the title of the video, GoCNC, which is a German manufacturer of well, like hobby CNC routers, they have sent me one of their machines already 2 weeks ago, and I really want to get this up and running because I have some CNC projects planned which also involve 3D printing, so not too far from the main topic, but I want to crack the boxes open, see what's inside, and then we're gonna start with the assembly process, and I'm really looking forward to. Unfortunately, they said that the assembly process might take something like 20 hours. I won't be doing a 20-hour live stream on this machine. The purpose of this live stream is just to show you one of my new projects, because I really want to do some CNC routing in the future, and I really wanted to get a better machine than I already have built on my own a while ago. And yeah, they said they'll provide one. I'm really happy that they did, because this is a quite expensive machine. Yeah, we'll see how it goes together, and yeah, then hopefully very soon we'll make some chips. All right. Jacob, why am I doing all my videos in English? Because 75% of my viewers have English as their native language, and I just don't want to discuss about that at the moment. It's always the same. I would do some German videos, but just the views would be horrible, and I spend a lot of time on making these videos, so I want to make them for an audience as wide as possible. And so yeah, English is the language for me to go to. Hi to Denmark. All right, so yeah, I have two boxes. This one I think is the accessories. This one is the CNC router itself. It's pretty heavy. You can take a look at the link in the description for taking a look at the specs. It is not the most professional machine, I have to say that. So this machine doesn't have any ball screws. It just has trapezoidal screws, but proper ones. So I still think for a home gamer, just as I am, this should be sufficient for my projects, but we'll find that out. Alrighty. So, yeah, for everybody who has just joined, this is my workshop. This is down in the basement, not the office where I have my 3D printers. So in here, I usually make the dirty stuff, so like using my CNC router, just woodworking, metalworking, and all of that is down here in the basement. And this is also the reason why the sound is pretty bad, because everything right here is just echoing. Yeah, the price of this machine, as I said, it's not a cheap one. It is, I think, $1,400 for the medium-sized version, and this is without the spindle. As I said, it's made in Germany, or at least packaged and all the stuff put together here in Germany. And the quality of the parts, I hope, are better than the ones I'm usually used to for Chinese machines. And I'm also really looking forward to get a look at the manual, which we will use for assembly. Yes, it's a pretty expensive one, but I think for a home gamer it might be okay. I don't know, maybe somebody of you knows how much a shaped Poco is, because it kind of compares to this one, but yeah, we'll see. All right, so I'll be cracking the first box open. And we will take a look on the inside. As I said, this is the accessory box, I guess, but we'll find out in a bit. Can you etch PCBs with one? You can use this machine to, I think you say isolation mill or isolation engrave PCBs. This should be possible with this machine without a problem. All right, so what do we have? So stickers, a calendar for everybody who needs one. Let's get this into the bag. So lots of packing material. I ordered some accessories with the machine, so there are different ways how you can run the machine. You can either use Linux CNC and directly use a parallel port to power the machine. Since I'm used to using Gerbil to, well, interpret my G-code, I went with this box right here. It's more or less just an Arduino, which has a, well, Gerbil running on it, and it breaks out all of the pins to a serial connector back here, and this then interfaces with the CNC. All right, yeah, I think I'll just put this in the back. This is not that interesting at the moment. So right here, this is a piece for vacuuming the chips away. This is actually partly 3D printed with a flexible hose connected to it. Then there, well, we'll come to that in a second. So let's see, this is just an empty container. Ignore my chat. Is it open source? No, the machine is not open source. This is a dedicated product from this company. They don't release it open source as far as I know. Yeah. Okay. They are selling a piece of equipment which enables you to use cooling fluid for especially milling aluminum or plastics. And this is also here in the container. This is a separate box. A second. So this is a separate metal box which you're putting just on the table of your CNC router, and this will prevent the cutting fluid from spilling all over your workshop. It's directly filtered right here and is going back through this hose directly to the cutter. So I also have that for yeah, working with metals. There is yeah, lights. Then this is the cutting fluid. They don't use the normal fluid that you usually use in a, well, in a CNC mill. This is, I think, just the stuff you're also putting into the cooler of your car, and this will prevent oxidation of the parts of the CNC. Okay, what do we have in here? A box of something. Yeah, some bubble gum. Just like the Prusas, some gummy bears, but I don't think this will last me the 20 hours of the build process. And a Kugelschreiber, ruler, is it called ruler? Yeah, a pen. Okay, perfect. So this was the first box. Let's see what's chat saying. Yeah, there are some comparable products which you can also get from AliExpress, which also have the ball screws included. I would be really interested to know how they compare, because they are cheaper, but you're getting them from China. You have to deal with shipping, you have to deal with customs and all of that. I was thinking about buying one of these. I think they're called CNC like 60. If you're Googling for 6040 CNC on AliExpress, you might be able to see comparable machines. But this is a German product. they provided it to me for, well, doing projects with it, and I'm really happy that they did. Okay, so this is just for powering the LEDs of the light. So the work table, it's also in the description. The work table has a size of 330 millimeters by 500 millimeters by 110 millimeters. It's not the largest one, but I was aiming for a more rigid machine, and the smaller the machine is, the more rigid it usually is. Okay, and this is a second power brick, and we also need this one. Okay, so I think the next thing will be to open the box where supposedly the CNC will be in. All right. Okay. All right. Let's see if I can change the camera. Nah. I guess this is not the best view. Okay, I'll just explain what's inside. So we have the aluminum extrusions, where also the bearings run on. We have the trapezoidal lead screws, which look pretty decent, and in comparison to the ones you usually know from your 3D printers, they have been machined. Wait a second. Oh, come on. Sorry. Damn it. Just give me 1 second. Okay. And again. Yeah, these ones have been properly machined at the ends to connect them with the stepper motors, which is a big plus because this enables you to really nicely transmit the torque from the motor to the lead screw. Yeah, so this is pretty nice. Yeah, hello to Brazil. Okay, so this is this. Then here are more of the aluminum extrusions, also pretty big and sturdy ones. Everything nicely cut, can't complain there. We have machined aluminum parts, which are for the Y gantry and for the Z axis. This is nice. Sheet metal parts in here also. Then electronics. We have a bunch of screws which are separately packed into small packages. Hey 3D Guzzner. You guys doing a discussion on on chocolate extruders. Yeah, so I really want to do one of these paste extruders this year for maybe extruding chocolate or maybe clay or something like that, but I just did not have the time yet to make a proper one. But back to the CNC stepper motors. These are NEMA 23 stepper motors. Just a second. Big torquey ones. This is nice. I don't know, at least name brand ones, if you call this a name brand. Three of them. This is for the housing for the electronics box, also with yes, a PCB on the inside. And then we have a package in here. Sorry for always looking to my left, but I had to place my laptop there because otherwise I would not have enough space on my table. Okay, this is one really old serial cable. I haven't seen one of these since ages. Decades, I guess, but they're still used in these CNCs to drive them. USB cable, some laser cut parts, the nuts for the lead screws, lots of bearings in here. Right here, parts of the electronics. The reset switch, end stops, plugs and stuff like that. Some, well, really small amount of machine oil. What does hybrid stepper motor mean? I have to be honest, I have no clue. But I think that all the stepper motors we are used to using on our 3D printers, all of these are stepper motors, but please correct me if I'm wrong there. Okay, here's a small interface, more screws, some, well, let's call it grease. A timing belt. I think this timing belt is used to connect the two lead screws of the Z-axis. Tony, no, there is no feedback in the stepper motors. If you would have a feedback loop, it would be a servo motor, but these are more expensive than the normal stepper motors. And the stepper motors are fine as long as the torque is not getting too high and you're losing steps. But I have to be honest, on my old CNC, which I built on myself, I quite often had problems with losing steps, especially if you are machining really hard material. But I built this thing on my own and I only had small stepper motor drivers and small stepper motors. So I hope this one is well engineered and we won't have any problems with that. Okay, and I guess we have a printed manual in here. Yes, this looks like the assembly guide. So a couple of stickers on the back. There is a CD which has software, drivers, manual, goodies. I don't know. I guess we won't need that. And a printed assembly guide. Okay. And this does look Doesn't look too bad. I have also posted a link to the manual down in the description, so if you want to follow along and take a look how it looks like, go ahead. They have, I think, purely gone with images for the reason that they can sell this machine in any country and you're not depending on language. I'm really interested to find out how good that is, if this is as good as IKEA or Lego. But yeah, we'll find that out during the assembly process. People hit that like button, yeah. So if you want to help me out and appreciate what I'm doing, hit the like button. It really helps me spread the word, and it's also something where I feel better if I see that people seem to like it, and only if you are hitting that like button. So yeah, feel free to do that. Okay. Yeah, thanks for liking. And the last thing which we have in here is the aluminum. How do you say? I think it's called T-slot table. This is for, well, fixing all of your parts on. But this will probably be one of the last things we will be assembling. Rex, no, sorry, no cooking today. I have just been out for dinner and I'm totally stuffed. So I wouldn't feel that good if I would have a steak right now. Tim, isn't watch time more valuable than likes? It's both. It's YouTube likes if people are interacting with the video. Watch time tells them that, well, you seem to like it or you find it interesting. And if you then are also hitting a like or even dislikes, they can identify videos where, well, you were really interested in. Either it's positive or negative, so they are suggesting these videos to more people. Can it mill aluminum? It's supposedly able to mill aluminum, and this is actually one of the things I really want to find out, because this is one of the purposes I want to use it with. It's definitely able to do it, but the question is always how high you can put the feeds and speeds to mill something. But I'll be assembling that, and I already have a first video in mind where we will use this machine to improve one of my newer 3D printers. There's never a bad time for steak. Yeah, sorry. I really know that, and I already had steak like an hour ago, and at the moment I'm just full. But I really want to do that again, and yeah, we're down right here in my basement, but I think I would still be able to place the Prusa somewhere. Okay, let me just put this in the bag. Yeah, some have already seen these sprayers, which I have already been using for cooling while machining on my old CNC. I usually put a mixture of ethanol and water in there, and this is helping quite a lot if you're working on aluminum, for example. But you really have to pay attention, because this stuff can be flammable, and if you are machining something where sparks can fly, don't use that, because you might be burning your house down. Okay, so so on first glance it doesn't look like a 20-hour assembly job to me, but I could be pretty wrong there. as I said, we won't be assembling the whole CNC today. We'll start with the assembly process right now. Take a look at the manual, how good that is, and just, yeah, get it a little bit assembled. If you're having questions on anything, just let me know. We can also do like a little Q&A right here. And maybe I'll do a second stream where I continue with putting the machine together. But since this is not the most interesting thing, and well, talking while assembling just makes it way slower for me. I don't know if I will be doing that, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. Hey Nicolas, you recognize these screwdrivers? Yeah, this is my tool board, which I'm quite proud of, and I hope this will help us today to get the machine together. Nick, no, I don't have any affiliate links for this machine. GoCNC, they sent me this router for doing projects with it. So the benefit for me is that I was getting a free CNC. They want me to work with it, and hopefully I'm happy with it. So this is their benefit, but no, I didn't get any money. I don't get any money if you're buying this machine. So yeah, if you still want to buy one, go ahead. You find the link in the description. It's not sold at the moment everywhere on the world, but they have resellers in many countries. But unfortunately, I don't think in the US. But take a look at that. If you would buy one and it's not available in your country, just send them an email, and they maybe will be able to figure something out. Hey Frost. Yeah, all right. So let's get the manual out and see how easy it is to find the parts. And they actually say that there should be some tools delivered with the machine, but I haven't seen any so far. Maybe it's nothing in there. It's nothing in there. I guess this is also just, I think this is also just some electronics. Yep, this is also the power brick. Okay, well, anyways, I have plenty of tools at home. All right, perfect. You guys are saying that I'm not streaming in... I should actually be streaming in 1080p. This is quite strange. Just give me 1 second. Ah, yeah, you are right. I don't know why. Okay, yeah. It's 720p. You are definitely right. I didn't notice that before. I will be changing that for the next stream. I just don't want to change that as at the moment, because this might ruin the stream. But thanks for letting me know. Well, sometimes it's good if it's full HD because you can see more of the details. So a couple of years ago, when I still had really bad internet, I was happy when I was able to stream in 480p or something like that. But I think it has been becoming quite a thing to at least get your videos in full HD. But yeah. Okay. So, as I said, there's a printed manual delivered with the CNC router. It has a lot of steps, let's put it this way. 88. It has like almost 100 steps, 89 steps. If you're interested, take a look at the link in the description. There it's also linked. But it looks a little bit like Lego. It looks a little bit like IKEA. But we'll find out how good it works. If I have been missing one of the comments, also let me know. It's kind of hard to do this on my own, doing this thing, taking a look at the PC. But I hope you will forgive me that. Okay. Some caffeine for me. Alrighty. Okay, so the first step is for the Y-axis, where we need one of the bigger machine parts. There you go. What do you mean with do a 2-star jump? Yeah, Red Bull Cola. I really like the Red Bull Cola. Not everyone does, but the taste is just so different to the normal Cokes or colas that are available. And I'm really happy that one of our supermarket is selling the Red Bull Cola. And if you have never tried it, give it a try. Yeah, everything is really packed nicely in this transparent foil, cling wrap, or however you call it. Okay, so let's get some calipers. These are, I think, probably water jet cut aluminum parts and then machined, or yeah, machined for the finish. They have a thickness of 8 millimeters, so yeah, quite sturdy. Well, no bubble wrap, but at least these. All right, so in order to assemble it, we will need some parts from this big goodie pack right here, but I need to see if I have something to put this in, because then it's probably easier to find the parts later. Ooh, we are over 100. Yeah, thanks. This is pretty nice. especially on a Monday afternoon or Monday night, depending on where you are at the moment. Blah. Are you guys doing machining jokes or machinist jokes? Okay, so this is the right orientation. We need a bearing which goes in here. Let's see, there's a small burr in here. I actually would be interested. Is a bank holiday tomorrow just here in Germany, or do you guys from wherever you are also have a holiday on the 1st of May? Number 25. Okay, so this is one of the bearings. This needs to go in here. Let's see how we can insert it perpendicularly. Yeah, there we go. This is fine. Then we need rollers. The rollers with the bearings on the inside. One. Free. Most of the people don't. Sorry. Well, I have off tomorrow, and next week again, Thursday is a free day, is a bank holiday, and then Friday the whole company is closed, which is kind of nice because now I have just 2 short weeks. Okay, so where do we have? These are the normal screws and the washers. Nicola, yeah, the stream will be available afterwards. You are drunk at this moment. Yeah, sober up and see you tomorrow. You can still leave a comment there. Okay. So I also need a container to get the screws in. Let's see, lots of washers. So it's 52A. So the manual goes as follows. So in the normal manual, it doesn't say if it's a M3, M4, M5 nut or washer or whatever. It just has a number in the front, and this number is then referenced right here on this page or on these pages, where you can see that, for example, number 24 is one of the big bearings. For anybody who's interested, at least the washers I have right here, they are stainless steel. But the other ones, yeah, this is just normal zinc plated stuff. This is also just normal zinc plated stuff. So nothing special there. Okay, let's see. So we need one of these crazy nuts. We need a washer. Then this bolt goes through here. Then there are two more washers. This is a bad one. Yeah, that doesn't look too good. Down here you can take a look at the manual. Let's see. So this is how the manual looks like. So just like IKEA on this side, and these numbers then reference two numbers in this manual. Okay, so second washer on here. Then the bearing. The question is just if the bearing needs, if the roller needs two bearings. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so can you see this? Yeah, so these are the rollers which are used, which run on the aluminum extrusions. They are a little bit concave on this side for centering. Why is this machine so expensive? I guess it's that expensive because it's made in Germany. I guess that's more or less the sole reason. For this price, I would expect that the quality is decent, that the manual is decent, but I can't judge that at the moment. There are probably cheaper, definitely cheaper machines out there which you can get from China, but just as with 3D printers you're getting from China, they are not always the best quality. Revived. So Tom has really made a nice video about distinguishing 3D printers and CNC routers, and the thing is they are just not really interchangeable. 3D printers, they need to be fast, they need to be accurate, they need to be fast, and they need to accelerate very, very fast. And on the other side, if you have a CNC mill, it doesn't have to be that fast. It needs to have a lot of force. So you cannot really have a machine which does both properly. Okay. So certification. Since this is a kit, it's not certified as far as I know. You can buy the CNC router assembled, then it will have a CE certificate, but the one which I'm having right here does not, well, is the kit version, so it doesn't have any certification. So are these the normal nuts? Tim, can you try to get a Prusa Mark III to make a review? Yeah, sorry, I don't have a Mark III at the moment. I'm thinking about buying one since Prusa hasn't approached me. They don't give their printers away free to everyone. who is asking for them, like the Chinese do. So yeah, I would need to invest my own money in that. And since I have so many projects in the moment going on, I don't know if I have the time. I don't know if I have the time to really, well, work with it, that I can make a proper review. Tom has already done a really nice video about it. Joe has already done one. I think Maker's Muse is also currently working on his video for already quite a while. So there are plenty of sources where you can yeah, find out if this is a good printer, and I definitely think that it is one, even though I haven't tried one yet. Could I fry a egg on a heated bed? I think it would be working. I haven't tried it out because I think it's no use, but I guess it would be working. Okay, 55 M4 by 12. I think this is one of this. So the first complaint I have, even though the manual is nice, but the problem is they are just, come on, they are just referencing these numbers, and I don't know if, so if I'm looking for this screw, I need to take a look at all of these numbers to find out whether I have the right one or not. Yeah, this is not nice, but I don't know. They could make it a little bit better to maybe write the numbers of the parts I need directly next to the explosion drawing. Okay, so what did I say? M4 by 12. Where are my calipers? Did anyone see my calipers? Ah, there we go. Yeah, this is the proper one. Let's see. So I don't know how the trend, if you have the same tradition in other countries, but tonight I really need to make sure that all of the stuff which is outside is at a proper location, because the kids are running around and they will be stealing or at least hiding your stuff, which is not bolted somewhere. I don't know if that's a German tradition, but this is something I still need to do as soon as I'm finished right here. No. Oh, come on. Somehow my 2.5mm wrenches, I always lose them. Nicola, I don't know what you need for your satisfaction in print quality, but the Prusa is a really nice printer. The quality might be not so much better. This is, well, also cheap printers can at the moment produce really nice parts if you have a good printing profile. The thing with the more expensive printers is, so for example on a Prusa, that everything is working. You don't need to be afraid that your house is being burnt down, and you have nice features like auto bed leveling and filament runout detection and things like that, which you otherwise won't be finding on other machines. And this is something where the Prusa stands out. So if you're just looking for better print quality, maybe take a look at your print settings, because I also have an ANET E10, and I'm quite satisfied with the print results. Also consider flashing the latest Marlin version on it. This will also give you access to features like linear advance and things like that. Nah. Okay. Do you guys think that I should add some Loctite? Probably. I'm just afraid that I ruin the bearings. And I need to get these ones out again. Sorry, I wasn't prepared for the Loctite, but I think it's a good idea to use it on such a machine, because if you are machining something, you will definitely get vibrations. Yeah, I think the Stepcraft is one of the big competitors. They are quite similar in price, and I think similar in performance. Stepcraft didn't send me one of their machines, so this is the reason why I have the GoCNC. And well, I don't know. Maybe this one is better due to some reasons. Maybe this one is not, but this is the reason why I have this machine, and what I'll also be showing you in the future, what you can do with it. Does the manual say something about Loctite? Wait a second, I haven't read the beginning. It's just, I don't see anything right here, but I don't see a reason why I shouldn't use any Loctite on these. Okay, so this looks fine. Let's get to the next step. Okay, what do we need? We need these brackets. Where do I find them? No brackets right here. There you go. Okay, so these are probably the brackets, but I still have to bend them on my own. Well, okay. So some of these brackets, they're just laser cut stainless steel, which you have to bend on your own. But there is a reason why I have all of these tools in my shop. Yeah, sorry, I won't reveal a fully assembled CNC router. I will have to assemble this all on my own and invest some time in it. And I think this is, at least for you, a plus, because I can tell you afterwards how the assembly process was, where all of the parts delivered, how is the manual, and how long did it take me. Okay, so I created 2 of these brackets. Then I need 2 more of these strange bolts. I need more of the rollers, including the bearings. Okay. Thank you. Can anybody tell me how many we are at the moment? Because sometimes 107, if I'm not mistaken. Well, buying an Ultimaker after the ANET is quite a step in, at least in price. I am kind of a fan of the Ultimakers, but just for companies. I think for home gamers they're just way too expensive, and especially with the new ones, they didn't get any cheaper. So yeah, I would be really sure if I would buy an Ultimaker. Okay, what's the other parts that we need? 1326. 1326. I have this 50 and 61. 54 nuts. Thanks, Izar. Yeah, I really appreciate every one of you who is spending his time with me tonight and not rather watching football or getting drunk. Well, at least, well, you could get drunk watching the stream. 61. It's not the most interesting thing I am doing at the moment. I totally understand that. But as I said, I want to use this. I want to use the stream also for Q&A. So if you have any questions regarding topics I might know something about, just shoot and I'll try to answer them. Is the new one still 3mm based? I think you're talking about the Ultimaker, and I'm like 90% sure that it is still 3mm based. And in my opinion, 3mm filament is okay, or is even good if you have a Bowden style extruder, just because the filament is more rigid, which should result in better print quality. But 1.75mm has somehow become a standard, at least also for all of the Chinese printers, that I wouldn't change now. I have all of my machines running on 1.75, and I wouldn't like to buy new filament in just another diameter. 52. 4. I have these things, and 56 is what? 56 is this. Okay. Let's see if I am able to figure that out. So we have the small grub screws. How expensive is power in Germany? I pay like 27 euro cents per kilowatt hour, which is roughly like 30 US cents. It is really expensive due to all of the, well, regenerative power we are using here in Germany, because the regenerative power is subsidized. And so, yeah, the normal consumer has to pay an additional amount of money on his normal power to raise the money for things like photovoltaic, like solar cells and wind energy and things like that. In Austria, you pay 20 cents per kilowatt hour. Yeah, the reason for that is that the Austrians, they buy all of our solar energy in the summer when we are not able to cope with it, use their hydropower plants to pump water up the mountain, and then have, well, quite inexpensive power in the end, which they sell back to us Germans. Sorry. There is one missing. Yeah, I'm sorry. And well, this one I have on my table. And these are Vera screwdrivers. Really nice one. Do you say heritage? I got them from my granddad. He had a big machining shop. So lots of good tools right here. Okay, so the brackets. Okay. Inherited, sorry. Yeah, some words are, these are words which I'm not using every day, so I tend to forget them. What's the German word for it? In Germany it's geerbt. So, ich habe diese Schraubenzieher geerbt. Yeah, I don't know if I wanna start that game pronouncing funny German words right here on the live stream. What's your favorite filament? Yeah, I can't really say that I have a favorite filament. I really like working with many brands. I didn't have that many filaments which just didn't work out. So for my last project, I have been working with Foam Futuras filaments. They are really nice, I really have to say that. European made ones. The Prusa filaments, which are, so the filaments which Prusa is selling, not their own brand, but some other filament from the Czech Republic, they are really nice. I also had quite a lot of success with Polymaker's Polylight filament. I really like that one to work with. But I'm most of the time only printing with PLA, because this is just the filament, well, that just prints the best, and for most of the application is totally suitable for my needs. Oh, Kotzelschworf. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not a Bavarian, even though I live like 2 kilometers from the border. But I'm a Swabian, so I might be able to say something like Mauldeschle. But yeah, my Bavarian accent is not the best. Hey Pixelbit. Yeah, so more your region, even though I'm not such a big Swabian as you are probably. Okay, so let's tighten these. You always have to make sure that if you are tightening bolts that are connected to bearings, that you don't use an excessive amount of force, because this could ruin your bearings. And especially if you're using Loctite and things like that, you reduce the chance that the bolts rattle loose over time. So better use not too much force and keep the bearings alive than use excessive force and kill your bearings. Yeah, there are German YouTubers which are not from Bavaria. And I also don't have a lederhosen at home. I'm really sorry. Even though I'm living next to Munich, in my 30 years that I'm old, I have never been to the Oktoberfest, which might be kind of hard to hear from some. Nah, sorry, no German stream. There are some others right here in the stream which are not able to talk German, so this will be an English stream. And yeah, I would really appreciate if you would also stick to English in the chat, because otherwise it just gets too mixed up in languages. If you're in Bavaria, definitely visit the beer gardens. They are really, really nice, and this is something I enjoy, but the Oktoberfest is just touristy and yeah, just not my thing. No, I don't own one of these hats. Okay, so I finished the first side. I just oiled the bearings, and then we'll go to the other side. So this is the other side. It has a much larger hole. For some reason, probably because this is the loose bearing. So this is the fixed bearing on this side. This is the floating or loose bearing. I don't know how you call it. So, okay, there is one slotted one and one not slotted one. Hobby TV, no, I won't be talking German. I'm very sorry. This is an English stream and it will stay like that. I hope you can understand that. Even though maybe at the moment there are lots of Germans watching, but this is an English channel and it will stay like this. Damn it. As I already said previously, like 70% of my viewers are English speaking, so it wouldn't be the best idea to just switch to German at some point, because I would lose quite a bit from my viewership. Okay. So this ring needs to be pressed in here. It is, well, let's do a little bit tappy tappy. Tappity tap tap. This is in. And 24. So this is probably one of the bigger bearings. Yeah, this one. Okay. Wait, this is quite a tight fit. There we go. Which screwdrivers shall I use? These ones? There wasn't the necessity so far to use them. Okay, and this is just the same as we did before. So roller, bearing. This is definitely a hammer. I have bigger ones, but so we call it a Schonhammer, so a gentle hammer, and I think this is perfect for the application I used it for. Hey 3D Guzner, nice to have you here. Okay. So let's get this through here. One, two. This goes on this way. I really need to pay attention that I don't kill my bearings with the Loctite. So I only use a tiny amount, which was probably already too much. Hey German printing nerd, how are you doing? Oh, come on, guys, please stop speaking German in chat, because otherwise I will be I will need to delete your chats, and I don't want to do that. As I said, there are English speakers in this live stream, and please respect that. If you don't, I need to do something against that. Cooking and watching stream is quite hard when you don't have a Prusa sous vide. Yeah, I'm sorry. I have to say that talking and building something is also quite hard for me. So my multitasking skills are not the best. Yeah, there are two moderators right here at the moment, and as I said, I haven't done anything against my fellow friends in the chat so far, because I think that they can respect that. But if they don't, yeah, I will be doing something against that. Okay, so let's tighten these again. Sorry for the noise level. Yeah, the microphone is on the table. Maybe not isolated perfectly. I was thinking about doing cooking on the Prusa, but I don't know how Joseph Prusa would feel about that. Even though he has done the April Fool's joke with the sous vide with the cooking upgrade for the Prusa. And I don't want you guys to void your warranty. So far, no sous vide cooking videos, dedicated sous vide cooking videos on the channel. Oh God. I, as a German, prefer watching streams in English. I have to be totally honest with you, but I don't like to watch Germans on YouTube. It just feels strange. I don't know why, but this is how I'm feeling. And I don't know if I even have. I think I just a couple of weeks ago I have subscribed to my first German channel on YouTube, but all the time before only English speaking ones. Even though some of them are German, but they do their content in English, just as I do. Most of the German speaking YouTubers are kind of strange, he's saying. Well, yeah, there are vloggers, German vloggers, and things like that, but this is not the content I usually watch. Okay, so we have finished this. And just as on the other side, we need a couple of brackets again. I gotta admit that lots of my education that I'm having, and even my professional education, is somehow connected to YouTube, because I'm a fan of lectures, and there are some really nice lectures available on YouTube. MIT OpenCourseWare and lots of other things. So if I'm looking for something, I always go on YouTube, and I usually find good things on these topics. And this is, to be honest, also one of the reasons why I started YouTube myself, because I just wanted to try to give something back, because I'm just a huge fan of it. So I'm now also trying to make some somehow educational stuff on my channel. Where are my nuts? There we are. Belgium and German beer, yeah. So no beer for me at the moment, because as long as I'm working, I think the content wouldn't benefit from me being drunk. Okay, we have these roller. For everybody who's interested, we are currently at step 7 of 90, and we have already spent like an hour on building it. So it might be true that the assembly process will really take me like 20 hours. I mean, these nuts. Washer. Okay. Yeah. I'm sorry if I'm missing out on some things, but yeah, it's just always hard following. It's just always hard following on following chat and doing something productive. How much do I make from YouTube ads? Probably enough that I would make like 1 or 2 euros an hour that I work. So not a lot, to be honest. You can go on Social Blade and take a look at the estimated earnings and maybe take 50% of it. And this is at least for the content that I'm doing a pretty good estimate what I earn and probably some other YouTubers earn from YouTube. It's not a lot. It wouldn't be worth making the content because it's not a lot. But there are things like Patreon, there are things like affiliate links, which also help me run the channel. And especially Patreon is a thing where people who are really enjoying the content, who want to contribute, who want to, well, like motivate me to make more, because they are somehow paying for it or saying, okay, I want to give you some money because I really like your content. And this is something which just helps me motivate, because if I would only get like 200 euros a month from YouTube, I think I would not be doing that, because with my normal daytime job, I just earn, yeah, way more. So making some overtime there would pay me, I don't know, 10 times, 20 times more. 3D Guzner, that CNC looks really well machined. Yes, it does. So everything which I was assembling so far looked pretty well. I have been finding all of the parts. It's mostly deburred. I really hadn't to do any rework. And this is probably the benefits, or this is probably what you are paying for. So a Chinese CNC router will probably also give you the materials you need for building the machine, but you need to fiddle around way more to get it up and running in the quality you want to have it in the end. This is definitely way more expensive than a Chinese CNC router, but well, you're probably paying for quality. How are my plans of visiting E3D? They are at the moment not existing anymore. I wrote them once, but I did not really get a reply. So, and I have been on business trips over the last couple of weeks, quite a lot. So I don't know if they invite me again. I might consider, but I'm not begging to get there, because this is time and money also from my side, which I have to spend to get there. Yeah, I will not go there just because I beg them if I can come. Nick, yeah, this is not the worst estimation. Take 50% of it, and as I said, this is a pretty good estimate. This is a pretty good estimate for maybe many YouTubers in at least in the field, in the technology field where I'm working. But it always depends, because there are, where did I put my grease? If you are only doing vlogging or beauty channels, you have different advertisers, and these different advertisers will pay a different amount for each view their ad is getting. Well, use the median of these values. Or 50% of the maximum. That's also a pretty good estimation. It's not a lot. And for example, for each video I make with scripting and doing voiceover and cutting and whatever, roughly for each minute of video I need at least 2 or 3 hours of editing and preparation work. Okay, we are getting to step number 9, which is, I think, the carrier for the Z-axis. And for this we need this nicely machined aluminum part. We need, I guess, a long lead screw nut and a short lead screw nut. There we go. And we need these ones. What is wrong with 3D printing a 3D printer? If you take a look at the Prusa printers, you can get very good printers by using a 3D printer, and this is totally the idea behind the RepRap project. And if you are designing your parts properly, they are not that much worse than injection molded ones. They are definitely sometimes better than bad injection molded parts. So I would always prefer a good 3D printed part over a bad injection molded part, and they are durable. Okay, so the short lead screw goes on here. I try not to mess up my bearings with Loctite, but yeah, you always need to make sure that you don't apply too much. Oops. At the moment, I don't have analytics for the stream. The analytics will be available in a couple of days. So at the moment, I can't really say where you guys are coming from. To be honest, I don't even see how the video is performing at the moment. I don't see how many likes we have and how many are watching currently. This might be something where YouTube can improve on. I don't know if this is better when Twitch streaming, but yeah, I can't really say. Are we 80% Germans at the moment? Are there really a couple of English-speaking ones, or at least non-native German speakers here? I don't know that. Yeah, as I said, this is probably a pretty boring stream at the moment because, yeah, just assembling part after part is not the most interesting thing I can imagine, but this is not the purpose of the stream. At least one. Yeah. All right. So we have the carrier with the lead screw nuts, and the next thing will be to also get the rollers on there. I need 4 more rollers and 8 more bearings. Again, people participating from all over the world. I highly appreciate that, especially on a Monday night for me, and maybe one day Monday noon for somebody else. For example, in the US. If I would be at normal work, I wouldn't be able to watch the stream like this. But we have a bank holiday at the moment, so I'm back home and I can stream with you guys. Okay, let's get this into the right orientation. This is the right one. Second, third. Where is the mezzo mix? No mezzo mix today. I'm very sorry. There is no mezzo mix and no Prusa cooking today. I hope you can forgive me. But I have Red Bull Cola right here, which I really enjoy. No Australians, only Austrians, but they don't have the kangaroos. I'm really not used to standing all the time, and in my normal office where I did the other streams, I was always sitting, and also general work for me is usually sitting on a desk, at a desk. So this is quite hard. Not moving, my legs are hurting. I think I won't be surviving that for too long today. So some Loctite. Dag van der Arbit. Sorry for my horrible Dutch. Okay, this is good. Let's see. The other one goes through here. All right, COL. Okay. Some more Loctite. And where are my nuts? Okay, this is fine. And the last one. So this is, ooh. Did I mess that up now? This could actually be the case. This is through here. Ah, damn it. This one is on the wrong side. And this one also needs to be here. Okay, I messed this one up a little. The manual is, I would say it's okay. It's definitely better than everything which I have seen with Chinese machines. But since they are not using any words, some things are not totally clear all the time. But since they want to use this manual for, well, for everybody, regardless of the language, they had to go for something like that, or they would have needed to translate it to each language, which is kind of costly. And if you have a bad translated manual, it's also just worth nothing. Okay, this goes to here. Yeah, the Prusa manual is great. I definitely have to give you that. But this one is, yeah, it's in some languages. I think from the start it's English, it's Spanish, it's Czech. But, well, you have to translate it in all of these languages, and this is an effort. And it's working quite well since they are using this wiki style manual where you are able to correct things. But if you have something like this and you need to print it, you really have to get it spot on the, well, the first time. Okay. Right, bye. Okay. Is this now? This looks right, but yeah, I put. Wait. I think the Loctite is. Yeah, it's setting quite fast. Let's see. Ignore my chan. So I have been using a Raspberry Pi for 2 years on my Prusa, and I'm totally happy with it. Definitely give it a try. It works so easy and it works so well. Just buy a Raspberry Pi, download Octopi, which is more or less a Linux image where Octoprint is already installed, and plug it into your Prusa. Okay, so this orientation. Okay, I screwed this one up. I have been loosening the wrong, damn it, I have been loosening the wrong bolt. Yeah, and this is, so the Loctite that I'm using is not the one which will kind of like fix things into place permanently. This one will still allow me to get the things apart, and I hate this tool. Let's do it like this. Why don't I make videos about programming on Arduino? Because I gotta say that I'm not the best programmer. Let's put it this way. I know how to get some things going with Arduino, but I'm definitely not a programming guru. There are many others around who are way better in that, and yeah, better watch their content. Like for example, Great Scott, who I think he's an electrical engineer, but his programming skills are quite good, I guess. Sorry for being that quiet. I just need to concentrate at the moment that I don't screw things up again. Okay, this goes in here. Then we have a washer. And then there's the roller. Why did I look? And somehow I was missing. Ah, there it was. Yeah, great, Scott. He's not a programmer, but he uses Arduinos or microcontrollers a lot. And he is, in my opinion, quite decently programming them. If you're interested in programming of Arduinos and stuff like that, take a look at the channel of Robin Reiter, who is also quite frequently helping me out here on the channel during live streams. He is an electrician and a programmer, so he really knows what he's doing. Okay, so let's see. This looks fine now. All right, next one. Okay, so we need 2 more of these brackets. Let's bend them again. I am really afraid of breaking one of these. And I don't know if they have any spares. No, they are they are counted. Okay. Well, great Scott, he has also a very German English, but he is doing a great job, and I really envy his producing one video every week for the last 2 or 3 years. I can't understand how he can manage that. But if you take a look at his view counts and if you take a look at his subscribers, he is doing a great job. He's, I think, almost at 800,000 subscribers. This is awesome. Okay. This is the second stop. Okay, what else do we need? We need 2 more of these bolts. We need washers 4. We need 2 nuts. So what I did for my old Mendel 90, I was hooking my Raspberry Pi directly up to the ATX power supply, since almost none of the new printers are using an ATX power supply. This is unfortunately not possible anymore, but what you could maybe think about is getting one, not a boost converter, a buck converter to convert the 12 volts of the PSU, which is in your 3D printer, to the 5 volts you need for powering your Raspberry Pi. And then you don't need to worry about having a second power brick and things like that. Okay, does this go on here? Okay, this is kind of... There we go. Okay. I think on the new Prusa you can directly plug in a Raspberry Pi Zero, so it has a 5 volt internal supply, which it also needs for the microcontroller, and so you could also think about such a solution. Okay, 2 more bearings. Alex, no, I'm not doing YouTube as my main job. I would probably be starving if I did that. I am a mechanical engineer normally when I'm not doing YouTube. And only in my free time I'm producing some videos. Why is this thing a little bit crooked? Oh well. Yeah, I already own, so back over there is my old CNC router, which I have been building quite some years ago. And also with this one I have a couple of projects I really want to do for quite a while, but my other CNC router was just not working that well, so there are projects that I have already planned. The first one probably will be an upgrade for one of my existing 3D printers, where I'm really excited to do it, or to see if that works. And then there are still plenty of other projects that I can think about. Am I going to sell my old CNC? I have been thinking about what I want to do with... Damn it. I have been thinking about what I will be doing with my old CNC. Since the old CNC is something that's taught me a lot, and which was probably the starter for me of getting into 3D printing and machining and CNC and microcontrollers and things like that. I think I won't be selling it. I will be keeping it somewhere as a reminder. I don't know. What is the mascot of CNC? This goes on here. And a hang CNC. Okay. Is it sturdy enough to do more than just engraving? Okay, this one looks good. I don't know, this side still looks a little crooked. I don't know why. That is really interesting. I need to take a look at that. I wasn't aware that something like that existed. Okay, so one of the brackets is really tight in there, and I'm not 100% sure why. Maybe this is not 100% perfect perpendicular. I might be using a file to just get the last burst from the laser cutting process away. And this is the good thing when I'm in my workshop, because now I can use my vise and have all of the tools in here to make these minor adjustments if I don't lose my parts. Oh, damn it. There you go. Yeah. Let's see. Okay. Who can speak 2.5 languages? I? Well, I can talk German. I can speak English, and I can speak French un petit peu. But my French is really, really rusty. This is much better now. Yeah, so there were still some burrs left on one of the brackets that I just filed away, and now it's the bolt is getting through the holes straight and not crooked anymore. Yeah, you're totally right. Yeah, these are the 2.5 languages most of the Germans speak. At least if you went to grammar school. Some speak Latin, but they probably also had French then later. Some Spanish. There are some schools which teach Russian or Chinese, but I still think most of them learn French as a third language. Okay, let's tighten the bolts. This is fine. As I already said before, really make sure that you're not using too much force when you're tightening the bolts, because otherwise you will be messing up the bearings. But this looks fine. Okay, perfect. Okay, let's add some more oil to the bearings. Wait, this is really thin oil. Yeah, a torque wrench might be okay, but I think the torques are really tiny. I guess definitely, well, maybe below 1 Newton meter. I don't know. And it's also good to just get a feeling for when it's too much and when it's not too much. Okay, step number 15. We need more of these bent brackets. And I will be deburring them now before I bend them. Number 1. Number 2. Number 3. I really have to say that besides me mixing up some of the bearings previously, the manual looks really good. All the steps are well explained. It's a little bit complicated that the parts you need are not directly numbered and referenced, but you can get around that. Okay, so there we have these. One thing which I find a little bit dangerous is that for many of the parts I haven't seen any spares. So if you are losing one, you need to contact them to get a spare. I would at least put 1 or 2 spares of every part that is needed somewhere in the kit. Okay. Okay, so we have the rollers. We need more of these. We need washers, 4 of them. And we need and some more nuts. Okay, let's get this into the right orientation. I think this is the right one. Either work, like der Butter und die Butter. Yeah, gender of words is something that is quite complicated in German, but it's also the same in French and Italian, if I'm not mistaken. Just the English with their general article the have it pretty easy there. The Neutrum, the third article, yeah. Okay. Washer, bearing, washer, nuts. Politically correct. I know some people who have studied things like public management, and they have specific courses on gender, meaning how can you phrase things in books and things like that, that they are neither pro male or pro female. I think this is just a little bit too much, but yeah, this is how we spend our money here in Germany. Okay, so again, we have the bolt through here, then we have the washer, then we have our bearing, then we have another washer, a dab of Loctite. Choop. Okay. This is fine. So any of my German fellows have been at a fest erecting a Maibaum? I don't know if this is the tradition in whole Germany, but in all of the small towns around here today, the Maibaum has been erected. Okay. These ones are oily. The German printing nerd, no desire to do that. Watching people erect the Maibaum, or have you been talking about something else? Okay, nice. So we have that ready. Perfect. Okay, so the next step will already involve electronics. A Maibaum. Okay, where are my... there are my end stops. Are there my end stops? Yeah, there we go. Okay, so I guess these are the end stops for the Z-axis and the X-axis, and we will be screwing them into place. So one goes in here. Let's see. So one goes in here. We need some of these self-tapping screws. I guess this is the right one. And they are Phillips. Number one. And the second one. And let's see. Let's put it this way. Okay, and more of these self-tapping screws. All right. And I guess this is the last one. This machine oil, which they deliver with the CNC, has a really interesting, nice and sweet smell. This is making the assembly quite interesting. Okay. Am I going to the Maker Faire Bodensee? I am not sure about that. Probably I should go there this year. Do you know when it is? I think at first there's the Maker Faire in Munich, and then there's the Maker Faire in Friedrichshafen at the Bodensee. Yeah, I need to check my schedule, but I think I should be free there. So again, let's take a look at the manual. So the thing which is really nice is that they are telling you what to do in a step, and then they always show you how the finished result should look in the end. And this is quite a nice touch. It doesn't smell like balistrol. Balistrol has also a very interesting smell, but this is just sweet. Okay, so the next part is already about the aluminum extrusions, and these are the ones for the y-axis. So let's see. Let me find the right ones. Guess these are the right ones. All right. Okay, so we have one. We have two. Okay. And these are two small extrusions, which we don't need at the moment. Okay. Then there is a lip which we need to insert into the extrusions. This is probably for preventing dust and things like that getting into the mechanics. Nick, did I ever think about building a real CNC machine? I actually did. The thing is, you always need to have the tools. So what I was thinking about, building a kind of decent CNC milling machine out of wood, because I think this is feasible. And this is something which could be done by almost anybody, even without any special tools or equipment. But my schedule is so tight at the moment that I don't think that I will be approaching that project pretty soon. Okay, so what I have right here is something like a lip seal. Switch the camera. You have it right here. So this is a simple lip seal. And this lip seal will be inserted into the aluminum extrusions in order to prevent dirt getting into the mechanics. Let's orientate them the proper way. So we need to add the lip seal up here. Let's see if I can just simply slide it in or if I need some grease. No, this seems to be working. Okay, I slowly slide it in. Let's switch the camera angle again. Okay, so yeah, this is pretty easy. Okay, I just use a pair of snippers to cut it into length. And then we'll be doing the same thing for the other aluminum extrusion. So Nick, yeah, you definitely have the problem with wood swelling with humidity. You can seal the wood, meaning that you can just put some paint over it. But at least on my CNC, if you have it in a space where the humidity is kind of similar, it doesn't make such a huge difference. And you should be using like glued together pieces of wood, not just straight pieces of wood, because these have also a better behavior with temperature difference, with warping, and things like that over time. Okay, so the second lip seal is in. And let's cut this to length again. Okay. So, this is something really interesting. I'm quite excited to see how that works out. Let's take a look at the manual. So, we will be inserting the X-axis carrier in the aluminum extrusion, and we need to tighten, or we need to pre-tension the rollers. That we need around 2 kilograms of force to move this thing back and forward, and I am quite interested to see if that works out that easily. Hello, back to Kansas. All right, so we need this one. Okay, let's see if this goes in or if this is still too tight. Okay. Okay, something. Okay, so what you can see right here now is that the rollers are actually guided on these aluminum parts right here. This is working quite smoothly. With the brass rollers instead of the plastic rollers you need, you know, from 3D printing, you will get lots more rigidity, but I don't know how long they will last. So if there will some wear and tear, if small chips are falling in here, if dust is getting into there, I'm interested to see that, but I think I'll find that out. But this is working quite smoothly. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll I'll pre-tension these rollers a little bit until it feels that they are tight enough. Have a good one. These are just spare aluminum extrusions. They are not coated by anything. They are anodized, but nothing more than that. So I don't know how good that will work. And you can already see that some of the brass is being released on the aluminum extrusion. Camera. Can you see that? So there's already some brass on the aluminum. Yeah, I won't get a scale. I'll just do this roughly by hand and see if everything is rigid. But this looks fine. All of the bearings are moving. So this should be okay. And then we will be doing the same for the other side. Giga, we see, I think this is really the question. If oiling these rails is any good, or if this is actually detrimental because the oil will be gathering more dust. I think leaving them running dry will be the better option, because then you can just use a vacuum cleaner to get everything nice and smooth again, and you don't have all of the dust and stuff stuck in the grease or the oil. Okay, this side is good. And now comes the other side. Again, everything feels smooth. German printing nerd, I don't think that dry running means more wear. Dry running, if you have two bodies which slide over each other, this is a bad thing, but we have a fixed rail and a moving roller, so we should not have any friction between these parts. So for such a scenario, I think running dry doesn't is not bad for the system, because you only have a rolling motion and not a sliding motion. Again, I will be tightening the rollers, at least to the point where I think it's tight enough. And And again, this feels totally fine. Let's hear that. All right, pretty nice. Let's see. All right, so I think I'll conclude the video for today, just because this is not really the most interesting video stream and I don't want to bore you. I think we have already been getting a quite nice insight how the kit looks like, how the manual is going, how everything works out. So far, all the parts were delivered in a really nice condition. No burrs, no parts missing. The manual is pretty decent. So I can't complain right here. I am quite sure that I will need a couple of more hours, which will probably take me another week or so to get everything up and running. I'm really looking forward to creating the first chips with it. I don't know if I will be doing a second live stream. If you guys are interested, let me know. Then I will do it. Otherwise, I'll just assemble everything and show you the result. Yeah, and again, thank you very much for everyone who has been joining the stream. Please don't forget to leave a like on the video. I would really appreciate that. If you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. If you want to support me, check out my Patreon account, check out my affiliate links down in the description. And if you have any questions on the machine, just put them down in the description as soon as this video is available as a normal video on my channel. All right. So let me just check if there aren't any more questions. And yeah, so again, thank you everybody for watching. I hope audio wasn't too bad in my workshop down here. Leave a like and I see you next time. Bye bye.